don't normally do this, but there's a brand new year upon us, so what better way to celebrate it is to review the latest Mario game. Now, rare occasions I will review a modern game for one reason or another, but regardless, so sit back and relax, and I hope you enjoy my review of Super Mario 3D World for the Wii U. Well then, my first game review on the Nintendo Wii U. Where do I begin? Now, I am a huge fan of Mario games since I was a kid, and once I saw the first trailer of the latest Mario game in the franchise, Super Mario 3D World, I thought it would look goofy because of the new cat power-up. But then the thing that clicked into my head is that Princess Peach is now a playable character. When I saw that, my jaw dropped to the floor with excitement because she has become a playable character in the mainstream Mario games since Super Mario Bros. 2 back on the NES. Now, speaking of which, I'm gonna have to pick the right time to review that game in the future, but for now, we're gonna focus on the main Mario game, Super Mario 3D World, and see if this is the best Mario game to date in my opinion. So for the story to the game, it starts off with Mario, Luigi, Peach, and Toad wandering around the Mushroom Kingdom and founded a dented clear pipe. So for the Mario Brothers decided to put their plumbing action and fix the pipe itself. And with that, it comes out with a flood of new power-ups and with a brand new character known as the Sprixie Princess, a fairy-like creature from the Sprixie species. The Green Princess explains that Bowser has kidnapped 6 of her friends and that she needs their help. Then out of nowhere, Bowser emerges from the pipe, swipes the princess inside a bottle before disappearing back down to finish the job. Peach tries to save the princess, but winds up falling down into the pipe herself, and the others soon follow in order to assist her. Not a smart move, you dumb blonde. The gang isn't in the Mushroom Kingdom anymore. They're now in the Sprixie Kingdom, and it's a lot different from any other story from the boring-ass new Super Mario games for the past 6 years. Now, there's not much for the story here, but I'm glad that Nintendo did something different for the main mascot. Maybe since the likeness of the 3DS counterpart did so well and decided to give the likeness to the home console for a fresh start. Time for the gameplay. Where do I begin? You can play this game with different controls, with the Wiimote alone, the Wiimote Nunchuck, Classic Controller, Wii U Pro Controller, and the gamepad itself. Let me just assume that you're using the gamepad or the Wii U Pro Controller. You can control Mario with the D-pad or the left joystick. Holding either X or Y while moving will cause you to run. B or A will be your jump button, because jumping is important in these Mario games. The Z triggers allow you to duck down and go down pipes. Pressing it while you're jumping will allow you to perform a ground pound to smash crates and crush your enemies.
Crush your enemies, see them driven before you, and hear the lamentation of their women.
And last is the right joystick to control the camera to get a proper angle. The playable characters in this game is taken from the likeness of Super Mario Bros. 2. Mario is the standard fighter, Luigi is the high jumper, Princess Peach floats in the air for a short time, and Toad? Yeah, that Toad. Anyway, he's a speedy powerhouse with a weak jump. Now, if you want to speedrun through a level, the best bet is to choose Toad. There's also a Captain Toad that is only playable in these kinds of mission stages, and the last playable character is Rosalina from Super Mario Galaxy. Yes, Rosalina is a playable character in a mainstream Mario game. That is unheard of. I can't believe they actually made this decision. Anyway, she does her spin attack like in Mario Galaxy, which makes her jump as high as Luigi can. There's also Plessie, a dinosaur-like creature that is a mixture of a Yoshi and Dory from Mario 64. He comes out and assists you in some water sections of the levels in the game. You might have to be careful when you're controlling him. I can't manage to collect everything while he's stuck on autopilot in the water. For power-ups, we got the returning Mushroom, Fire Flower, Starman, Super Leaf from Mario 3, the Boomerang Flower making a comeback from its 3DS counterpart, and the Jesus! Yes, the last returning power-up is the Mega Mushroom from New Super Mario Bros. I was shocked that this power-up returned. I love the Mega Mushroom in New Super Mario Bros. Because I love crushing all my enemies into dust. The new power-ups we use are a Double Cherry that can make clones of yourself, and the Cat Bell, which turns you into a cat. When I saw this in the trailers, I thought it was gonna be a stupid idea. But then playing the game and using it, I realized that it's useful in some levels. I also heard there's a Lucky Bell power-up that also has the same effects like the Stone Leaf from the 3DS version. I never managed to find it at all, so I can't show what it looks like. Well, there is one power-up though that is completely useless in this game. The Invincibility Leaf will take all the challenge away. I mean, seriously, that is the most stupidest thing I've ever seen in a Mario game. So my advice, don't use it, because you'll never be able to 100% it if you manage to use it throughout the entire level. know, when Peach takes a fire bar, she looks oddly familiar. An HD version of her NES counterpart? The enemies in the game we got are Goombas, Koopa Troopas, Spinies, Thwomps, Bloopers, Cheep Cheeps, Bullet Bills, Bob-ombs, Magic Koopas, Piranha Plants, and Patooies.
Oh no, Patooies! And they're spitting mad!
I'm not going to list them all because there are too many to count in this game. Some of the enemies use the new cat power, which is a gimmick in this game. It looks so cute but ridiculous at the same time. There's also Fuzzies, Fizzits, and Bullies from Mario 64? Well, I can see some nostalgia enemies are back. Well, those fucking Hammer Brothers are back, along with the Fire and Boomerang Bros from Mario 3.
Motherfucker!
Charging Chuck! Why do they have to be Charging Chuck?
Okay, the 3D environment makes them your bitch, so their annoyance isn't affecting me in this game. Wow, a Mario game that I don't despise the Charging Chuck that much. But you guys are still annoying in Super Mario World. As always, this Mario game in tradition has 8 worlds to go through. We have the traditional grass world, the sandy desert world, the slippery fucky fuck that is the ice world, the abyss of the canyon world, the sun-rising beach world, the returning sky from Mario 3, and the molten volcanic era. Each level has their challenge of difficulty that will test you. While traveling through each level, you can find these stamps to use during Miiverse. But I gotta say, they are really fun to collect. Instead of star coins from the previous games, we got green stars to collect around the levels instead. And the best way to 100% the game, you have to collect all the green stars in the game. And if you do, well, consider to see these words hundreds of times in your first run through. The bullshit I have to go through to spend a scavenger hunt on green stars and stamps for completing this game. I'm sick and tired of all these collectathons in Mario games. Whatever happened to go from point A to point B in a Mario game? It first sounded repetitive when it started in New Super Mario Bros., even if I can manage to 100% some of the worlds. So for the next Mario game, I suggest to terminate the collectathon and go back to basics. Some of the levels have some references to other Mario games. I mean, take a look at World 3-6. This gives a reference to Super Mario Kart on the Super Nintendo. Even World Star-5 gives a reference to the 3DS counterpart. Hell, and even its follow-up level, Star-6, it has the Gusty Guardian Galaxy theme from Super Mario Galaxy. Unbelievable! It's cool that this game brings comebacks to classic games. The bosses in the game are challenging. 2 of the bosses are Bowser in this badass car. The only way to defeat this is to use the soccer bombs that he chucks at you. It's not that hard, but it is pretty challenging. Boom Boom and Pom Pom makes a brand new challenge than in the 3DS version. Pom Pom uses ninja skills at you, which can get confusing in this fight, and Boom Boom does exactly the same thing like in the last game, so nothing much to say. Aristocrat can be taken down by using the cat power on his back. You can use the plates as platforms to try to get on top of his head, but sometimes these plates are cracked to make sure you can lose your cat power. That can get pretty annoying. Boss Boulder can be destroyed by its own misfits. Kind of a false design there. King Kathunk is a really good boss battle. It reminds me of the fight with King Womp in Mario 64. Prince Bully acts like he's indestructible than the others. Not! Multi-Boss Blob is the most annoying boss in the game. The best way to beat this boss is to use some of the double cherries to destroy these blobs. Until I realized that these serve as a distraction. Don't even think about smashing the blobs and focus on destroying Multi-Boss Blob. So in conclusion, these bosses are challenging, but it takes some time to figure out the pattern on each of them. After defeating each boss of the world, you get to rescue a Sprixie. There are 7 Sprixies in the entire game, and after rescuing the last one, you might think that you won the game because the red flag has covered the screen. But there is a twist, because Bowser pushed the screen out of the way, and right under your nose, snagged all the Sprixies back at once and took them into space. That's what it looks like to me. Once we get up here, we see that Bowser has his own amusement park, which makes it as the final world of the game. This world will challenge you with every obstacle that you face throughout your journey. You'll die a lot, but it'll be a relief once you're done with the madness. Once we're done with the challenges, we get to take on Bowser for the last time in this adventure. Seeing his fortress makes me think, how can he afford coins to build this place? Well, that's just a thought. The final level will give you the challenge that will kick your ass if you're a casual gamer. I mean seriously, cat Goombas on rooftops, bullies on Ferris wheels, and every fire hazard to make sure you don't have any power-ups while running through here. And with the heart of it all, we see Bowser get one of those super bells and... Holy shit! Bowser with the cat power? This is ridiculous, but challenging. I mean, the object of this boss battle is to climb up this very tall building. But while this is happening, Bowser has grabbed the double cherry, which makes this a great nightmare. You gotta be careful with all these Bowsers around. It's gonna be totally insane. So all you have to do is to dodge these Mowzers, punch this power block, which makes him drop the Sprixies and skyrocket in the air like in Super Smash Bros. For some reason. With the Sprixies free and sliding down on the final flagpole, we finally beaten Super Mario 3D World. That's a crazy adventure we had, and I love it. Now for the bonuses. The game is made during the era of Luigi, so they had some Easter eggs to show some love for our Green Plumber. Speaking of him, after beating the game, you will unlock a bonus game called Luigi Brothers. Instead of Mario being the main character, it is recolored into Luigi's colors. So instead of Mario playing in Mario Bros, you're playing Luigi. And after beating the game, you'll be able to go through 4 bonus worlds. Is it worth it? Well, you'll have to play them yourself because I don't want to suffer through this. Well, with that saying, I'm gonna have to consider this as one of my favorite Mario games of all time. I've never seen a great Mario game like this on any console I've played on. The graphics are awesome for an HD game. I've never seen a Mario game look this beautiful in years. The characters look what they're supposed to be, and I love it. The gameplay is great. No other Mario game, other than the other 3D games, plays so smoothly like this one. When you're controlling the character, you are the character you're playing as. And a Mario game can't be a Mario game without great music. This soundtrack settles the mood for each level, and it is composed realistically. With realistic instruments makes the music poppin' right out of the screen. With all that saying, Super Mario 3D World is the game that you have to play to believe. This is a game I highly recommend for your Wii U library. I can't even imagine how possible this game has in store. Like I said, I am not going to go all heavy on reviewing current games, but only the one that has some nostalgia feeling to me. So, with all that said, thank you guys for watching, and I'll see you next time.